What's going on, guys? Keelan here, Sanibel Man, and today is the last video of a three-part series from a three-day fishing trip down the Florida Keys. I'm going to start off today with just how we left the hotel. Funny sign right here at Kingsale Resort Marathon. So we headed from the hotel and then headed on to Hammock State Park. And this is what the park looks like. Really nice setup. Got a kayak launch off to the side. The main beach is yonder too. Alright, so this is where Sunshine and Pika fished before and caught a bunch of tarpon. The wind was a little different than today, which that might influence our day. Wind's coming right from the southeast, pushing in. However, this does look kind of calm. So we got a couple spots over here and then further down that way, but we'll see what the Lord's got in store. Alright, so this little channel here's got two little canals that cut through. Again, looking to avoid the wind. I tried fishing along that little bank behind me, and it was a little tough with all the seagrass that's pushed up against it. I did have one little baby barracuda pull up, which that seems to be the theme of this trip so far, or barracuda, which it's been entertaining with that. But I want to check along these docks here and along these mangroves, see if this calmer water will be a better ordeal, a better plan. They said they caught so many. They got such great footage too of all the different tarpon they caught that one trip. We'll see if the conditions are good. They say the tide's similar, but the wind's definitely different, so that might throw us off a little, but we'll see. Well, nothing biting on this first little canal here, but this is really peaceful. It's really cool. Out of the wind, lots of mangroves. It's nice right now in the shade too, after being in the sun for 3 straight days. It's kind of nice to find shady spots and not have to battle the sun. But so far, nothing really biting on this side over here, but definitely a cool paddle, definitely worth exploring and checking out. This is a cool, really peaceful park. There's no one here basically. That's really cool. What's really cool about this park is that there's little canals, little inlets for you to go into and go and explore and check out. And again, it's protected by the wind, which is cool. So there were a bunch of mullet popping up back here. Sunshine and Pika had said they'd seen a couple big tarpon rolls right behind where I was. So again, tarpon chasing the big mullet through here, the big schools of mullet. And just, yeah, fun to explore, fun to paddle. You can see all the fish going crazy. Unfortunately, it didn't lead to any caught fish here in this canal, but it was still cool to see and cool to kind of check out. And again, on windy days, it's good to have these little cuts like this to be able to go back and hide from the wind and really get away from the craziness, especially in a kayak when you're kind of at the mercy of the weather. But really fun spot, really cool to check out. There you go, King. Mullet man. Mullet man, yes sir.
There. They're all around us.
So that was clutch having Kyle catch those mullet. This is now the journey from that first little canal section, heading across the Atlantic into this next little cutaway for the mangroves. But a little windy, but really beautiful day, really pretty last day here in the Keys. And there's Pika going with me. Sunshine had to stay back a little bit. But yeah, like I said, beautiful day. You can see how shallow it is though. The grass flats are right there. I got my whole mullet on there on the setup. See if he comes up again. He's coming right towards you. I don't know if he's gonna pop his head up or not. Dang, that was cool. It was a loggerhead sea turtle. It's funny, I thought it was like a piece of like trash.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait, I don't know why it's bobbing up and down like that though. Hey, that was cool.
So I was fishing along these mangroves here, kind of like how we normally do, and I didn't see a whole lot going on. Had a lot of barracuda bites. Sunshine did say he actually saw a decent amount of fish. He saw some tarpon, and he had a couple snook. He actually had one that he hooked, and unfortunately it just popped off. But I wasn't seeing a whole lot of action. There were a couple stretches where there was a decent amount of fish, but overall it was kind of quiet, at least early on when I was going through here.
So this island has like a kind of a lap around it, you know, of all the water, and this is where they had a lot of success with tarpon. I haven't seen any rolls yet. I've seen some pretty big barracuda and some snapper, but this is a perfect spot to go to get out of the wind. Alright, baby cuda. About to break my line. They are everywhere in here, at least. At least I'm on the board, but man, no tarps.
Something really cool about this park is there are a lot of these little cutaways and mangrove trails and stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't look into the map to see how far back they went, but you're gonna get a little peek here as I'm going through. They go really far, and there were actually some iguanas. I heard some iguanas shaking in the trees, and that's what brought me back here. I was wondering what it was. It's like extremely peaceful, really fun to explore. Obviously not super fishy. I was actually looking to see if there was some tarpon maybe rolling back here since I didn't see too many up front, but if there were anyway, they'd be really hard to land with the amount of debris that's here in the water, with how shallow some of the spots got, all the mangroves, and some of the low-hanging trees too, which is, it'd be tough. But man, really cool to explore. There are actually a couple different places you can go back and explore. They weren't really well mapped out, well recorded, but still really cool to see and cool to check out. I decided to head back after this. I figured time to get back going.
Alright, turtle right there. Let's see if we get better footage this time. Where'd he go? Man, turtles are fast. They want to be. I think you'll be able to see that head pop up this time at least.
So as I was heading back, I just did see a couple things moving around in the water, but no tarpon, not from my viewpoint. Sunshine saw some, but that was a little bit later. I was casting out some stuff waking in the water. Might have just been mullet, honestly, but still a really beautiful day. Still really cool to explore this park and see what it's got.
Alright, so now I'm leaving this little section here. Honestly, worth checking out if you're kayak fishing down here. Definitely a prime spot for tarpon. Unfortunately, didn't see any today. Tons of barracuda, some snapper. It's definitely just kind of a funky weather pattern. Oh, what's up, dude? But definitely worth checking out. I'll at the end of this video, I'm gonna play footage from sorry, bro, from Sunshine and Pico when they went on their trip a couple years ago down here. The same time of year, actually. It was my birthday, and I went down with a group of friends and we did snorkeling and got down to Key West a little earlier, but they went here and actually fished here and then fished the big pine spot that we did yesterday, or Cujo spot, excuse me. But definitely worth checking out. Again, I'm gonna make my way back towards the kayak launch. I'll probably fish a little along the way, but definitely a cool spot. just sometimes spots don't produce, you know, especially this time of day. It is a little tricky too with the park opening at 8 in the morning. So I feel like this would be a really prime sunrise spot, but I bet sunset here is really killer. And all the Sandbar Sunday boats, loving it. So heading on the way back, and again, just there's such a difference in the as far as the topography here. This is so shallow and grassy, and then you get some of the deeper sandy spots over there. But I will say there are a lot of snapper and grunts along here. That's Kyle. He was just fishing over there, and he caught some of those. I had a couple nibbles, or not, I had a bunch of nibbles. They were just too small. Snapper and grunts that were biting my shrimp lure. Pika did have a big bite. He had a full mullet on, and something basically ripped that all off except for just the head. So there's life around here. It's just getting to it. So I'm gonna keep working my way back towards the launch. I might actually anchor up a little bit and see if there's something else out here. There's a cormorant over here, and he is barking up a storm. Let's see if he talks some more when he comes up from the water. But I will say this is a really cool spot. It's nice too. Oh yeah. Don't know if y'all be able to hear him, but what's cool, thankfully the wind's died down where it's not nearly as bad. Definitely still feel it, but it's keeping me cool. You can honestly go that way too, and there's mangroves along that side, and then there's like more canal systems back there you can work in that also seem to be pretty interesting, pretty exciting, but won't be able to hit those today, which, you know, today's a little bit of a shortened day. Plus too, the trip yesterday really took a lot out of us. Just how long the paddle was, how much wind there was. I think that really impacted today's journey, but you know, it's all good. It's part of the deal. It's part of the fun, you know. It's part of the exploring and kind of just seeing what's, you know, some days are a little bit better than others, and today's still been really fun to explore and check out.
Yeah, so really surprised no bites on the mullet, but all good. It's still really fun to explore. Definitely a fun park to check out. I would definitely recommend it. Definitely with kayak fishing. They have rentals there too, which is nice. This is just a cool photo of the park, and again, there ended up actually being a lot of people once we left and once we packed up, but we packed up, we headed back up north. On the way there, we stopped at the Key Largo Fisheries, which is an amazing restaurant. Tons of fish were there, which is really funny. We thought about just dropping a pole down and, you know, getting some of those fish there, which the food there was incredible. Yeah.
They got some parrotfish in there too.
Is that what that was?
Yeah. So sick.
I got a mahi Cuban sandwich, which, man, so good. The food this trip was amazing. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this trip. And if you've watched the other two videos too, you know this has been a really fun time. I love going out in the Florida Keys. Not exactly what we were hoping for as far as the species of fish, but we definitely saw a lot of fish, caught a lot of fish, had a really good time. It was a great birthday weekend for me. I appreciate Sunshine and Pika for joining me on this trip, and for y'all for watching. This next clip is a video made by Sunshine when he and Pico went a few years ago and killed it. Tons of tarpon, amazing footage. This is by Sunshine. Hope y'all enjoy it.
He's on. I'm about to get worked. That was a big tarpon too, dude.